Well, grab a jacket for lunch plans or afternoon errands that you may be running. Temperatures right now around 50 degrees across southeast Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi. So you can see where we're headed for the rest of the day, expecting daytime highs to climb into the mid to upper 50s, which is still below where we should be this time of year, which is actually 65 degrees. So yeah, we're not dealing with any real impacts to our weather. We're just kind of dealing with some temperature fluctuations and overall not expecting any impacts all the way through the rest of this week. So it's going to be quiet weather, but there's going to be some subtle to that quietness. A warming trend, kind of. And what do we mean by kind of? Well, we're actually dealing with a roller coaster temperature trend. It's just a kiddie coaster and not one of those Six Flags variety. You'll notice that we're going to be climbing from 58 to 69 in terms of daytime highs from today to tomorrow. But then we get another front in here late Wednesday. Now that front not going to have any rain to it, so we call it a dry front, but that's going to drop our temperature back down to 64 on Thursday. But it's only temporary. We're into the 70s for Friday and Saturday, and then Saturday into Sunday we've got another front moving in, and that's going to allow for another fall in our temperature. But we're not looking at any extreme drops in terms of temperature, so that's because all the cold air is going to stay bottled up towards the north. We see that here with our upper air pattern. So we've got a ridge off towards our west. We've got this trough that's encompassed the deep eastern half of the country, but you can see the deepness of that trough is really staying up towards the north. So here's your bitterly cold air, what we call kind of polar vortexes that are going to be moving off towards the northeast. So for us, we're just dealing with this flow out of the northwest, which is generally quiet weather for us because it doesn't really allow for disturbances to make their way through. We're going to get clipped by one, though, here as we get into the weekend. So you can kind of see how the dip in the jet stream takes a bit more of an approach towards the deep south, but still that coldest of the air staying up towards the north. And then once again, we kind of deal with a little bit of a ridge hint here as we go into the beginning part of next week. So that may even allow for temperatures to warm up once again. So the ups and downs, they're going to continue, it looks like, over the next several days. Here's a look at futurecast, and you can see we're going to keep skies pretty much clear, and there's that dry front that moves through on Wednesday into Thursday. Behind that, we'll have that northerly wind flow reinforce those cooler temperatures, but really no weather impacts. As we look towards Friday, some surface flow off the Gulf brings a little bit of moisture return. Not enough to really produce a lot of rainfall. We'll call for a spotty shower during the afternoon, and you can see maybe a spotty shower or two for Saturday as well. Here comes the front, though, and looks like maybe our best opportunity of rain will come on Sunday, but also note how the model kind of dissipates that rain as it approaches our area. So bottom line, not expecting a whole lot of rainfall, but if we were to see rain, it does look like Sunday will be the day, and maybe first half of Sunday as it stands right now. And then as we get towards the beginning part of next week, what could happen is on the tail end of the front, as it gets out into the Gulf, we could see a disturbance that kind of develops along the western part of that front, and you can see how that rain starts to fetch up and may try to push our way as we go into the middle of next week. So in the meantime, next 7 days, mainly dry. You can see a lot of our area less than 1/10 of an inch of rain being estimated by the model that I just showed you, which is the European GFS, pretty similar as well. So we've got some decent model agreement, at least within the next 7 days, that things are expected to stay mainly dry. We'll get an update on the drought monitor on Thursday. We'll show you that then. We do expect things to improve, though, in terms of what it was showing last week, thanks to all the rain that we did see last week. So 58 degrees is our daytime high today. We're up to 69 for Wednesday, but then dropping down to 64 for Thursday. Morning starts, they're going to stay chilly, so make sure the kids still have the jackets for that morning bus stop for the rest of the school week. You can see as we head into the weekend, we may have to dodge a raindrop or two. I think for Saturday, mainly during the afternoon. For Sunday, maybe during the first half of the day, but no huge swings in terms of those temperatures through the course of the next 7 days.